All right. Let's see here. Just let the old Discord know we're going live. Okay, just test it out, making sure the volume's working. Sounds good. All right. Now, how do I not have you? Cool. Cool. All right. So, the very first thing I want to try is probably the weirdest league name I've ever seen. It is the Ravnica Stravaganza Phantom Supreme Draft League. So Supreme Draft is you draft 2 picks from 18 different packs to end up with 36 cards and build a deck. You're not drafting with anybody else. These are brand new open packs. So you pick. Oh man. I tell you what, if you're not in my Discord, you should totally join my Discord. Let me make sure that I'm on the right streaming appropriate overlay, not layover. All right. So, we're going to start off with some Supreme Draft and see what happens. The queue will immediately fire, because I am drafting by myself. I do have a limited amount of time. Is there a way to make these cards bigger? There we go. Let's make the cards a little bit bigger. Okay, so we have Gyre Sage, which is Evolve, and it taps to add green for each 1/1 counter on it. We have Bomber Core, which I remember being aggressive in Gate Crash. I remember that being somewhat good. And a Boros Charm, which I am very tempted to take. I think this card is an excellent draft pick, as well as a good strategy to play in Ravnica. Bomber Core might be the way to go, but Aerial Maneuver is also not bad. Court Street Denizen, whenever another creature and white creature enters the battlefield under your control, tap target creature and opponent controls. That actually seems sweet. Okay, so we open another brand new pack, and we get to take 2 picks from this pack. This wants us to take Sphinx of Foresight. I'm going to take Burning Tree Vandal and Skewer the Critics. I think both of these cards are pretty great. Guildgate could be good. If we get something that is very powerful in one color, we can pick some fixing that way. But we're going to focus on actual action cards to begin with here. Alright, so another new pack. We're going to take Arclight Phoenix, and so Healer's Hawk is what it recommends. I don't know that Arclight Phoenix is actually going to be that good, but it does. There's the potential we could get it back for free, right? There's also Goblin Crater Maker, which is removal attached to a bear. That might actually be better than Arclight Phoenix in the deck that I'm trying to draft. But I kind of like Healer's Hawk. Getting started with the aggression early is great. Lifelink helps break symmetry in an aggro matchup. So we're going to do that. Alright, looks like we have a OG Ravnica pack. It looks like Dissension. There's Cytoplast Manipulator, which definitely not what we're doing. Pain Magnification. Whenever they are dealt 3 or more damage by a single source, they discard a card. Stoic Ephemera. 3 mana 5/5 that after it blocks, it dies. Enemy of the Guild Pact. Demon's Jester. Vara Scalper is a 2 mana 1/2 flyer that has to attack. And Psychotic Fury, target multicolored creature gains double strike and you draw a card. We have no multicolored creatures right now. I think the best picks for us might be the Signet and the Scalper. Because I don't really see us playing anything else in this pack. Oh, shoot. Hey, Six Sigma, no worries, man. No worries. You'll see it in the video that goes up tomorrow, actually, if you watch. We're doing some Supreme Draft right now because it really seems to be interesting to me. We're going to take the Scalper and we're going to try taking the Signet. Probably not playing the Signet, but we'll see. Ooh. Okay, so War Leader's Helix is an amazing burn spell. Punish the Enemy is also a pretty fantastic burn spell, but there's a Viashino First Blade. Oh, no, you didn't ruin it. You didn't ruin it at all. It was actually kind of funny. It really surprised me, but it's not a big deal, man. We're going to take War Leader's Helix, and I think First Blade. We need a lot of creatures, and First Blade is an excellent one. Punish the Enemy, though, is quite good, but we're going to try it this way. Okay. This is Booster Pack 6 of 18, and we get to take 2 picks from this one as well. So I just said Punish the Enemy was pretty great, so I'm going to take Punish the Enemy. The question is, what's the other card that we take out of this pack? And I think it's Showstopper. This card is splashable, and it's fantastic, and its flavor text is amazing. It's a bunch of Rakdos clowns exploding. It says the audience quickly realized a few things. It wasn't a magic trick, there wasn't candy there, and they'd need new clothes. But that card definitely would, like, if your opponent has a Wrath somehow, that card's a way to do it. I'm going to take those 2 cards because I really like them. Blade Juggler's fantastic. Concordia Pegasus is aggressive. Let's see. Revival. Reanimate CMC 3 or less. Oh, yeah, the birthday stream. I read that and I laughed. Oh my gosh. That was fantastically hilarious, Joest. The I forgive you because it's your birthday. First off, it's not my birthday, but... I'm gonna take, I think, the Rakdos Guildgate and the Tin Street Dodger. Alright, Boros Guildgate definitely, and Integrity Intervention seems like an amazing combat trick/burn spell. We already have 7 creatures. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Starting to get weird. Dude, I don't blame you. It has been, like, I don't know what it is, but I've had a weird week at work. My friends have had weird weeks at work, and I'm sad to hear that you're having a tough time at work. But it seems like a lot of people that I know, it's kind of dragging on a little bit. So Gorehouse Chainwalker is a fantastic aggressive creature. It's basically a 2 mana 3/2, and Azorius Arrestor can help us sneak in some damage. We're definitely taking those 2. There's another Guildgate. Voyak Bodyguard is pretty fantastic. It can't attack alone, but we do have a curve up to it. There's also another Boros Guildgate. I don't know how many tap lands we want, but I imagine we want at least 1 more Guildgate. There's also a Sky Knight Legionnaire, which is a very good aggressive damage dealy creature. Maybe we skip this Guildgate and take these 2. We're kind of getting heavy in the 3-drop slot, but I think that's probably fine. That makes it easy to play cards after we play Guildgates and such. Like we take turn 2 off playing a Guildgate or something. Alright. Return to Ravnica Pack here. And we're definitely taking Rakdos Cackler. I think Rakdos Cackler is fantastic. Fencing Ace is a pretty good other card. Niv Magus Elemental is great, but we don't have any cards that synergize with it. We would like our instants and sorceries to resolve. So we either take Fencing Ace or we take Keening Apparition. We do have a couple of pump spells, I think, in the form of the front half of Integrity at least. Yeah, I'm gonna take the two creatures here. All right, original Ravnica Pack here. We have Galvanic Arc, 3 mana. When it enters the battlefield, deals 3 damage to any target, and it gives the creature its enchanting first strike. There's a Rain of Embers. Torpid Moloch. A 1-mana 3/2 that you can sack 3 lands to allow it to attack. I don't think that's good. Sunforger, though. This is a 4 or less CMC spell. So we could get Showstopper, we could get Boros Charm, we could get War Leader's Helix, or Skewer the Critics. That actually seems fantastic. I'm going to take Sunforger and Galvanic Arc. We're just going to be aggressive, aggressive, aggressive. Okay. So Ogre Gatecrasher is a 4-mana 3/3 that destroys a creature with Defender when it enters. There is a Rakdos Signet. Rakdos Ickspitter, 1 damage to target creature, and that creature's controller loses 1 life. That actually seems really good. I think we take the Gatecrasher and the Signet. The Signet can help us splash and is completely on color for casting Cackler or Showstopper. So I'm going to take those two. Another Showstopper. I don't think we want 2. So this is definitely a Punish the Enemy and Viashino First Blade pack. Okay. Ooh, Foundry Street Denizen. Crackling Perimeter. I love Crackling Perimeter, but we only have 3 packs left, and we don't want too many gates. This is definitely a control card more than it is an aggro card. There is a Smite. Warmind Infantry. Whenever it and at least 2 other creatures attack, it gets bigger. Murder Investigation. Enchant creature you control. When it dies, create X/1/1 soldiers, where X is its power. That's not bad. I think I like taking Prophetic Prism. We could also take Cartel Aristocrat, because that's a way to sneak in damage. And it seems kind of good. Helps justify the Black Splash a little bit. Okay. Another original Ravnica pack here. 3 mana 2/1 First Strike Vigilance seems good, but not amazing. It's not my birthday, but welcome to the stream. Glad you could make it. Goblin Fire Fiend must be blocked if able and has fire breathing. I think I take the Guild Mage. I don't know if I play it. Barbarian Rift Cutter seems a little ambitious as well. So we'll take those two. Okay, second to last pack. Another Chainwalker and Azorius Arrestor, pretty much hands down. Seller of Songbirds I like, but we're really heavy in the 3-drop slot. Bloodfray Giant might be a good curve topper, but we don't really need a creature that large. I would much rather be consistent in the early game here. And last pack, Pelt Collector would have been a great pickup. There's a Maximize Velocity, which I kind of like. There's a 10th District Guard, and Sworn Companions, and a Rock Charger. I kind of like Rock Charger, because Rock Charger can help us get some creatures to be evasive by granting them flying. How many times do you think you have to say it's not my birthday in an average stream? Usually about 4 or 5, I think, is the average. Not that I'm keeping a running total, it's just that about feels right. Yeah, we're not going to take the Cyclops. 10th District Guard could be good. Maybe we take that over Maximize Velocity. Yeah, we'll do that. All right. Now we have a deck. So let's group creatures separately. Take a look at what we're running here. We have to build, I think it's a 40 card deck. We'll stop saying it when you stop laughing at it. Oh, man. That might be a while. Hang on. Let me double check and make sure that I only have to make a 40 card deck. Yep. Okay. 40 card deck. Okay. So let's cut the things that are kind of middling to start. Gatecrasher might actually be a sideboard card if my opponent's playing Defenders. Or when it isn't true. It's never true. Well, one day out of the year it is. I guess I was wrong. You got me. We'll cut Azorius Signet. We don't need the blue mana. Probably only need the Rakdos Signet for fixing. Showstopper is really a sideboard card, which I guess means we don't need to be running Rakdos Signet or Cartel Aristocrat in the main. Even though Cartel Aristocrat's great. I think we're going to stay straight Boros at first, and then if our opponent's running Wraths and stuff, we can bring in Showstopper and Cartel Aristocrat. Okay, I really like how our curve is looking here. I think cutting potentially like a Tin Street Dodger or a Healer's Hawk might be where we need to go. Punish the enemy is kind of expensive, so I'm going to cut that. This is a 1 mana or a 4 mana card. Sunforger I think is great. It actually fetches up like 3 or 4 different spells, which we can use to get a little bit of card advantage. Also, I'm drinking Coke and vodka, and a little bit of butterscotch liquor in there, and it's delicious. In case anybody is wondering. Let's see. I need to cut 2 cards, and they probably need to be creatures. Tin Street Dodger is expensive, but it is a red creature that synergizes with Foundry Street Denizen, and we're majority red creatures. I don't want to cut healers. I don't know what that was for, but it surprised me. I think... I think 10th District Guard is probably our weakest 2-drop. And I probably should cut Tin Street Dodger. We only have 1 creature with Mentor, and that's the really only synergy we have with it. Except, it does help turn on Skewer the Critics, but we don't need to do that. Alright. I think we have ourselves a Boros aggro deck that is quite good. Whoop. How did that happen? I think this is fine. Okay. Let's do this. I think this has the possibility to be a really fun draft format, and if it's good, I hope they do more of it. I think there's a regular Chaos queue where you just draft all across Magic like this, which might be more fun than regular Chaos draft, because you can, like, get more opportunities at good rare cards and stuff. Okay, that's not an aggro hand. Deck, please. Not an aggro hand, mulligan. This is actually way better. Sure, no problem. Probably after this draft, if you're still around. We can play some Monoblue Tron, because I know you requested it. And that's really the only thing I'm missing, I think. Alright, so we'll start Plains, pass the turn. I did actually open another one today, so I got it out of a treasure chest. It was pretty fantastic. Play a mountain, play Azorius Arrestor. Pass the turn. Oh, for anybody who's curious, the deck that I'm uploading tomorrow, I'm not going to spoil it, but the League is fantastic. So definitely give it a watch if you've got some time. Opponent plays an Urban Utopia. I got a Thought-Knot Seer. The 4-mana Eldrazi that Thought seizes when it enters. So opponent has to pick up a tap land with their Groll Turf. They're getting a lot of mana, but they're kind of dirtling around. But they're doing it pretty fast. So we'll hit our opponent for 2. Play Plains. Play Voyak Bodyguard. Snot-Knot Seer? Alright. Opponent. So, if my opponent doesn't play a creature, I'm going to hold Arrestor in hand, play Fencing Ace, and leave up Boros Charm, basically as Wrath protection, because there are some sweepers in this format. My opponent probably has removal for this Arrestor, because it dies to literally everything. We'll see what they play. Gyre Engineer. Well, we can detain that temporarily, which I think is what we're going to do. So until our next turn, it can't attack or block or use abilities. Yeah, then we'll play Fencing Ace. Go to combat. Attack for 6. Hit our opponent to 12. Hopefully taking our opponent off of that mana really mattered. Alright, red, double green, and a blue for a Rumbling Slum. At the beginning of your upkeep, it deals 1 damage to each player. Alright. Have some questions on that? Okay, yeah. What do you need to know? Okay, so we're going to go to combat, and we're going to attack with everything. Awesome. That's wonderful news, right? Glad to hear it, Oz. Okay, so opponent's going to block the double striker. So we can do 6 to their face. We can just give our stuff indestructible. They lose a blocker. They take 1 on their upkeep. Actually, if we use Boros Charm in its burn mode, this is tough. I think we use this as burn. Okay, pass the turn. That's cool. It's always good to be around friends. Where do you stand in the thought of always going on the draw so your opponent doesn't draw that extra card? I think if the meta is mostly not aggro, that's correct. If the meta is mostly aggro, you absolutely need the tempo advantage. Doesn't matter that you always need the cards. Like, one of my friends who used to play rack decks a ton was like, Kano, why didn't you take the draw half those games? And I was like, first off, I lost the coin flip on a lot of them, so hold your horses. And second, because there were so many times I wanted to have Fatal Push or like have the Thought Seize on the play. Because frequently there are times where like Thought Seizing before your opponent can play any cards is very advantageous. And I don't want to give that up. So opponent was tapping a lot of mana, and that was really scary. Alright, they pass. Boros Charm. Take him to 1. And opponent concedes. Nice. Get him with the old Fist and Sun. Alright. So opponent's deck is extremely dirtily. So I'm just going to run it back. If I was to add another color, which color would I play? Red for Croxa, blue for Drown, or green for Decay and Trophy? I think red would be the next logical pairing, because you get access to Croxa. You can run Bolt instead of Push, and I know that's not immediately like necessarily better, but you can play a more aggressive play style where you're dealing a lot of direct damage, and you have Lightning Skelemental or Blightning if you want that effect, which I think can be very powerful, but it's not necessarily the best way. I think red is probably, though, the way I would lean. Green is a very different deck. Green, you could play like Loam Pox, with like Raven's Crimes and Life from the Loam and Smallpox, and I think that would also be viable. But I don't think you could play just Dimir Control. I don't think that would work. This is very tempting. Like one land and we're off to the race. I think we keep. We'll put back a 3-drop. Like, okay, sweet. I was going to say any land makes this hand amazing. So start Cackler, Unleash, pass the turn. Man, if the decks we're playing against are all like this, Fun Police is absolutely viable. Because that's what we're doing right now, it's Fun Police. Oh man, opponent plays tap land into bounce land. Opponent, you're not going to cast any spells for like 4 turns. Okay, Unleash Gorehouse Chainwalker. Attack our opponent for 2. And if we draw any land, we can play Burning Tree Vandal and start looting away the cards we can't cast. We can even give it Riot. We can give it Haste to immediately get in for damage. Alright, so opponent plays a black mana. We draw Punish the Enemy. So attack for 5. See what our opponent does. 3 mana. They have some kind of removal, it looks like. Arrows of Justice. Alright, Gorehouse Chainwalker down. And Rakdos Cackler in for 2. Opponent plays a tap land. And a Signet. Do we untap? We draw a Rester, which we can't play. Ooh. This hand might have been too risky. It'll be turn 5 before we hit land 3. Though if we top deck a white land, and we can start like detaining any blockers our opponent plays, or like playing First Blades and stuff like that, it's gonna be good. 5 mana. I think we got lucky because we opened a ton of Gatecrash packs. I don't know if anybody was around to play Gatecrash, like in the pre-release or any of those, but like Gatecrash was such an aggro format, it was not even funny. Alright, well we gotta pass the turn. Unfortunately, we just didn't draw lands for 4 turns, despite being an average proportion of lands in the deck, and only having 1 land in hand, so the highest proportion of lands in the deck. Oh man, okay, pass the turn, I'm gonna discard Punish the Enemy. Like, If we just start top decking lands, and only lands, I think we can get there. Opponent attacks for 2, we don't even have the option of blocking. And they play an Elusive Krasis, a 0/4 with Evolve, and a Transguild Promenade. Promenade? I don't know how to pronounce that. We untap. Alright. Alright, I've had enough. It's turn 7, we're on 2 lands. The likelihood of that is very small. Super teeny tiny. Yeah, we're just going to run it back. And I think if my opponent starts tap land into bounce land into tap land again, they're going to get run over 9 out of 10 times. Alright, I'd love to play first. I think this hand is excellent. I'm going to keep. And we will start Foundry Street Denizen. A card that occasionally sees play in modern mono red in Goblins. Card's good. Opponent starts Swamp. I don't know if there's any 1-mana black removal in Ravnica. Play Plains. Go to combat. Attack for 1. Take my opponent to 19. We'll play a Fencing Ace. That was your idea to brew Lux Cannon in Modern Dice Factory? I mean, I'm down. I've been looking at it, and we need to pair it up with Clock of Omens. Oh, Deadweight. I forgot about Deadweight. Play a Mountain, and we're going to play Court Street Denizen. Get in for 1. We're basically going to hold on to Skewer the Critics until we have to cast it. I really want to play Clock of Omens with Lux Cannon and just like tap, untap, and just do ridiculous things. So go to combat. Attack for 3. Play an Arrestor. And yeah, why not? We'll just Skewer. Even if my opponent plays 2 creatures next turn, we're going to tap 1 and detain the other. And do a lot of damage. If we draw any of our hasty Boros-colored guys, we're going to pump the Denizen, tap a dude. Like, it'll be great. Magistrate Scepter was best in that slot. It probably still is, if we're being honest. But, like, just repeatable Vindicate. You can't, like... You put my 2 favorite words in a sentence. Repeatable and Vindicate. Those aren't really my 2 favorite words. My 2 favorite words are probably Omniscience and without paying its mana cost. It's just... Alright, opponent plays a Signet. We draw a Mountain. I do think holding this creature in hand is correct. We could, we could technically change the clock, but I think making our next attack evasive is better. Because, like, it's possible my opponent plays 2 creatures here, and Arrestor in hand takes care of that, and then we top deck either one of our remaining burn spells. Any, like, of the 4 that we still have in the deck. Or Sunforger. Okay, so opponent plays an Affectionate Indrik. They're going to have it fight the Denizen, so we can't tap it, but we can still detain it. And if we top deck Boros Charm, our opponent's just dead. Punish the Enemy is a pretty close second. So play Azorius Arrestor. Detain the Indrik. That dinosaur's coming with us. Attack for 3. Take my opponent down to 4. Pass the turn. And I think we got there. Alright, opponent's tapping a lot of mana. Golgari Rotworm. Well then. Untap. We draw Rock Charger. Go to combat. Swing for the fences. Okay, opponent blocks. Blocks. They take 1. Punish them. Punish my enemy. Always remember, the opposite of winning is fun. Alright, I'll see you guys in round 2. Ravnica Extravaganza Phantom Supreme Draft League. Try saying that 3 times fast. I know I can't. I've been drinking. Alright, round 2. Let's continue making people sad with Fun Police. That is if my opponent shows up. Alright. Oh, I'd love to play first. Tempting, but we can do better. This is better. We're going to keep this, and we're going to put back Utvara Scalper. Yes, we're going to put back Utvara Scalper. It does help turn on Skewer the Critics quite easily, but I don't think we need it. So, Six Sigma, I don't know if I ever told you this, but I used to play original Ulamog as a commander before Wastes was released. And one of the best combos in the entire deck was to play Staff of Nin, Mycosynth Lattice, and Clock of Omens. Because you just repeatedly pinged your opponent for like 8 every turn. It was really fun. Okay, we're going to play Gorehouse Chainwalker, and we will unleash. Pass the turn. Sounds really not fun to play against. The deck also really uncommonly assembled Tron, even though it just like ran the 3 Tron lands as colorless lands. Okay, we draw Rakdos Cackler. We can either go all out on offense, detain, attack, and unleash. Or we can detain... Oh, no, that's even better. Okay, so what we do, we detain our opponent. Syndic of Tithes. We're holding 7 points of burn in hand across 3 mana. That's going to be nuts. I kind of like this format, because, like, a lot of it was a limited format that I played quite a bit. So, like, I kind of remember what... I didn't play OG Rav, obviously, but I played all of Return to Ravnica and all of New Ravnica. So, like, I kind of remember what cards are good. Especially aggressive, like what was the best aggressive cards. And I feel like we got a lot of Gate Crash packs. So... Alright, what is our opponent playing? Croconura. Crocodile Frog. Alright, so we're going to Boros Charm our opponent and then skewer that. Burning Tree Vandal. Ooh, we could just attack. And then, like... Nah, I don't want to lose anything. 4 damage to my opponent. Kill the creature with Evolve, that's scary. Alright. Attack for 7. Opponent probably blocks Chainwalker and takes 5, goes to 8. They lose their Extort, so repeatable life gain currently off the table. I hope they have a bounce land in hand and nothing else. Does that make me a bad person? Sure. Fire away. They did have a bounce land in hand. Ah, oh, yum yum yum. Delicious. Sorry you had to hear that. Urban Burgeoning. Untap this land during each other player's untap step. Alright, we draw a mountain. So play Burning Tree Vandal. Give that haste. That was not alright, I'm sorry. Tag with everybody. We are going to loot away this mountain in favor of drawing more action. Oh man, First Blade. Haste and 2... A 4-4 with haste for 3 mana. Who thought that was okay? You're talking about how a lot of our first memories of you was probably Battle of Wits? Yeah. What are your first memories of us? Let's see. Let's see if I can do this individually. Raelin is probably the oldest viewer of all of you. He showed up way like 2 years ago when I used to stream. I would get super drunk and play Battle of Wits and Time Warps on stream. And Raelin would consistently just show up, hang out in my stream, and call out every correct line, even when I wasn't doing it. So he's probably the oldest consistent viewer that I don't know personally. Yes. Oz was also around a lot. My earliest memory of Oz being around is him talking to me about weightlifting. Specifically, I think he was making fun of my deadlift for using straps. I think is my earliest memory of Oz. I could be wrong on that one. I don't think that was the earliest interaction we had, but that's the earliest memory I can recall right now. Bone Daddy showed up, donated $60, and said, "Give me Mod Sword." And so that was like literally within 5 seconds, and I said, "Okay, whatever, sure." Then Jawest, you showed up because I was playing Battle of Wits, and like all I remember is like you showing up and requesting Battle of Wits and telling me that I'm the greatest streamer because I cater to my viewers in Battle of Wits. Who else am I forgetting? Let's see. Who else am I forgetting that shows up with some frequency? RGNK Phoenix hasn't shown up in a while, but he showed up because I used to play Time Warps. He actually introduced me to the Time Warp Discord. Basic Land Shark showed up and laughed because I would get drunk and because I was also playing Jank at the time, but I don't remember. Six Sigma, I remember. You showed up because I was wasted and I was playing something. And you were just like, hell yeah! And that's what I remember. I'd probably be because I was wasted. We're absolutely keeping this hand. Opponent starts tap land, the poor bastard. We start mountain. Pass the turn. Oh man, tap land into bounce land, opponent. You're not playing anything till turn 5. Play a mountain. Play Chainwalker. Unleash. Yes, I remember because you showed up a long time ago and then there was a very long dark period. I do remember that. We're going to play a Plains, and via Shino First Blade, we're going to attack for 7, which is 1/3 of my opponent's life total. Hashtag balanced. Take my opponent to 13. Yeah, you've been around long enough that you're, got your PhD now, right? Doctorate. It's a degree. It's a prestigious one. Six Sigma. I'm so sorry. Because I congratulated you, I wished you luck the day before, and I congratulated you after. Masters. Okay. Masters, yes. I was like, I knew it's prestigious. It's not a bachelor's. Sorry, buddy. Alright. Opponent probably has to play a tap land, but they're gazing at their 8 feeble cards in hand. Kano's cocky tonight? It's just 'cause I started drinking early, that's what it was. And it was strong. If I feel like I need to be taken down a peg, I'll go play Battle of Wits and lose. That'll probably calm me down. Alright, Krokanura. Battle of Wits wins. It does in the right meta. Another bounce land, wow. Punt count triples when Kano drinks. Joest could bring me down a couple notches. I'm sure he'd know what to say if he wanted to. Alright, we can't play our 2 and our 3 this turn, so we're going to play tap land. Detain that Krokanura. Get in for 5. Take our opponent to 8. If they don't play another blocker, War Leader's Helix or Boros Charm wins the game. Unleash is you may have it enter with a 1/1 counter, but if you do, it can no longer block. If you don't put it in with a 1/1 counter, it can still block if it doesn't have the 1/1 counter. Opponent plays a Senate Griffin. And they get to scry 1. Put a card on the bottom of their deck. They play a tap land. Untap. Ooh. I apologize in advance. It's definitely profitable to shoot the Griffin down, because then we hit our opponent for 4. Problem is we can't do that and play the Bodyguard. Maybe we just play the Bodyguard? We could attack. Ooh, actually, yes. So go to combat. If our opponent doesn't block, they're certainly dead. Like, if they don't block with Senate Griffin, I mean. They're going to block with Krokanura. There's no reason for them not to. If they don't block with Senate Griffin, they die. If they do block with Senate Griffin, they lose it. We can skewer the Krokanura and play Voyak Bodyguard. And if they don't block anything, they take 7 and then they take 3. Yeah, exactly. All right, yeah, chat. Encouraging bad behavior. Flunging and math is for blockers. Oh, how does my audio quality sound today? Because the last 2 videos I feel like really improved. Doesn't have any of the crackling. Um, Turns out that I think the USB port I was plugged into is like kind of messed up. Flunge. Flunge is attack without thinking, with everything. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Oh, okay. I didn't know it actually stood for something. Okay. Attack with everybody. My favorite way to play. Well, you had me convinced. Yeah. Alright, opponent does attack with the Croconura. Or, I mean, does block with the Croconura, I mean. And the Senate Griffin. Dexter's so aggro, you flunge every turn. Alright. Second main. Play the Bodyguard. Okay, we can either kill the Croconura or shoot our opponent down to 3. I think it's probably better to kill the Croconura. Doing that dangerous thing. Thinking. Evolve is whenever a creature with larger power or larger toughness enters the battlefield under your control, it gets a 1/1 counter. Okay, opponent plays an Ogre Savant, bouncing the Bodyguard. We untap, play a Plains, detain the Savant. Also, he's an oxymoron. I love the flavor text on that. Man, Arrestor is so good. I just thought this card was great in Ravnica. Replay Bodyguard. Go to combat, attack for 2. So, we're not playing this Plains out for basically any reason, because we do have Burning Tree Vandals in this deck. So we could loot it away. So War Leader's Helix and Boros Charm kill our opponent outright. Depending on what our opponent has, they might just die too. Man. Look at this. My opponent has had every single land enter tapped. And they've only cast 3 spells. A 4-drop, a 3-drop, and a 5-drop. We have cast 6, starting on turn 2. This is like your opponent is playing with a Sphere of Resistance effect. Like, when all of your lands enter tapped, you're playing a turn behind. They even have Chromatic Lantern, so now their 2-mana lands can tap for 1 mana. Why? Why are you tapping it for 1 mana? Sin Collector? You're gonna look at my hand? Untap. Draw Healer's Hawk. Go to combat. turn creatures sideways. We'll pump the first blade. Okay. Opponent is going to block down the creatures that Voyek Bodyguard must attack with, because he can't attack by himself. Okay, opponent goes to 1. Play the ever-threatening 1-mana 1/1 flyer. Pass the turn. Did we get you? Kaka, did we get you? Zorius Guildmage. They can tap a creature. They're not dead. Just kidding. They're dead. Oh. Alright. Been having some recent success with Jund and Modern. It's interesting to play. I've not had... I guess it's not interesting for me to play against, personally, usually. But I've never actually played Jund. I've never been able to afford the pieces. We cannot keep this, we mulligan. Not on the play. Alright, this on the other hand, I will keep. We'll put back Punish the Enemy. Actually, probably should have put back Sunforger, maybe? No, Sunforger we can actually play. Alright. Start mountain, pass the turn. You bought it in a night of drinking? Oh man, that's never good. Supposed to leave the dumb decisions to me, and then wish me happy birthday when they happen. Play Plains, and we're going to go ahead and unleash Chainwalker. Pass the turn. Poor ideas all around. Oh, you know, I misread that as poor, P-O-U-R. Alright, we draw Boros Guildgate. If we're playing scared, we can skewer Fencing Ace now. If we don't think they're going to block... Oh man, that's not fair. You punted me. Alright, we're going to go ahead and skewer... Oh, there's an unpunt command? I didn't know that. Get in for 3. I think Double Strike is too scary to leave around. Opponent uses a Demon Fire to exile our guy. So we're going to play an Utvara Scalper. Is the YouTube command not working? I could have swore I set that up. Actually, we lost a bunch of our commands at one point. I don't know why. Okay, opponent plays a Senate Griffin. They go Scrying. Awesome. Thank you, Six Sigma. We draw a Healer's Hawk. Alright. Go to combat. If they block, we're going to Integrity. So we make our guy a 3/4. Kill the Senate Griffin. And... yeah, we'll play a Sunforger. Pass the turn. Any land, and we can get in, smack, and unequip Sunforger to go get War Leader's Helix. Whenever Sunhome Enforcer deals damage, you gain that much life. Hey, what do you know? Equip Utvara Scalper. Go to combat. Hit our opponent for 5. Thank you, Six Sigma. Then we'll go ahead and unattach Sunforger, get War Leader's Helix, kill Sunhome Enforcer. Oh man, this feels dirty. Opponent plays a Viashino Racketeer, and they discard a Master Warcraft. Oh man, that would have been really nasty. That's a cool spell. Okay. Equip Scalper. Go to combat. Attack for 5. Hit our opponent to 7. Play the Hawk. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Mountain. Gideon, Champion of Justice. Nice. I forgot Planeswalkers were in this format. They exist. Alright, opponent gets a whole bunch of loyalty counters. Alright, they pass, we untap. We draw Sky Knight Legionnaire. So play the Legionnaire. And opponent concedes. Hoo boy, fun police. Yeah, no adjustments. We'll just run it back. And we didn't even have to show Boros Charm. That's fantastic. This is Fun Police. Mono Red Aggro is Fun Police in any limited format. Or Boros Aggro. Boros Aggro is what I was calling Fun Police in Vintage Cube and Legacy Cube. Simply because when you're playing Vintage and Legacy Cube, you everyone wants to draft Ponders and Preordains, and Fun Police is you beat your opponent to death as fast as possible because no one's allowed to have any fun. Because you can do awesome things, like you can start looping cards, you can do cool things with Mind's Desire and cast your whole deck, but you're also dead on turn 3 to anyone playing Goblin Guide and the ilk. So, alright, Sky Knight Legionnaire, not a bad pickup. We're gonna play Fencing Ace. Pass the turn. Except you. Opponent plays the Plains, and they are passing. We draw a Rock Charger. Bashing your opponent's face over and over is pretty fun. Yeah, no, it can be. I agree. We'll get in for 1. Only gonna take 2. And we will play a Court Street Denizen. Because now Sky Knight Legionnaire taps things when it enters. Wow, I'm having trouble speaking. Okay. Opponent Scorch Marks the Court Street Denizen. So let's see what our opponent plays. Gideon, Champion of Justice. So we play Utvara Scalper. Go to combat and kill Gideon. Gideon is kind of intense and limited because his minus 15 is exile all other permanents, which would be very bad. But at the same time, all he really did was gain my opponent 6 life. It's arguable how effective that is. My opponent might still just die to damage. I mean, they're going to die to damage if they die, so we might still beat them is what I'm saying. Oh, man. I'm having fun. Is anyone else having fun? Because I'm having fun. Alright, we draw a mountain. Play a mountain. And Galvanic Arc. On Utvara Scalper. Kill Senate Griffin. Go to combat. Hit our opponent for 3. Opponent untaps. Seal of Fire. Is that it? Okay, they kill Utvara Scalper. They pass. We draw Voyak Bodyguard. We'll play Burning Tree Vandal. We're going to give it haste. Go to combat. Attack for 4. And we're going to discard Rock Charger. Viashino First Blade is excellent. Okay, opponent goes to 11. Opponent plays a 3/3. We draw land. Land is not bad. Play Bodyguard. We'll pass. Man, one more land and we are off to the races. Just so much damage. Okay. Opponent plays a land. They've got an Ash Zealot. I love Ash Zealot. We draw an Arclight Phoenix, which is actually quite fantastic. So play our 3/2 flyer with haste. Hit our opponent for 3 in the air. We could attack with everybody. Nah, we'll wait 1 turn. 1 turn and we're going to hit our opponent with so much damage. Oh, if we get 1 more land, we're going to hit our opponent with so much damage. I'm not sure they can do anything about it. Does our opponent have a Condemn? Or a Divine Arrow? Withstand. Prevent the next 3 damage that would be dealt to any target this turn. Draw a card. So opponent does not take any damage. They play a mountain. They play a Hammer Dropper. And a Fencing Ace. Okay, we untap. We draw a mountain. Play First Blade. It gets pumped. Play Legionnaire. Go to combat. Hit him with everything. Mentor, counter on the Double Striker. We have no cards to discard. So much damage. There's at least 5 they can't help but take. They have to block everything else. In which deck? The rack deck? So opponent takes 5, loses everything but Fencing Ace. Goes to 6. Well, we have 5 in the air and we're still at 20. Any that can reliably on turn 3. Reliably cast it, that is. And our opponent scoops it up, leaving us with 150 play points and a treasure chest. Well, let's open our treasure chest and see what we got, huh? Five play points, a promo Yudaro Wandering Monster, and Thrix the Sudden Storm. Alright. Well then, Fun Police is still viable. In any format. I think in a fetchland heavy or graveyard heavy metagame, I think it's absolutely main deckable. Yes. Six Sigma. Six Sigma wants to see me play Monoblue Tron. So I'm going to go see exactly which cards I need. I need to get one more Thought-Knots here for sure. But I think that's all I'm missing. Actually, hang on. Okay. Let's see. Most recent Monoblue Tron list. Okay, that's fair. I'm not massively great at Blue Tron, but it is a very different deck than the last time I played it, so... Let's see what we're missing. Okay, I have 2 chalices. This wants 3, but I'm fine with not doing that. And I don't have a cavern. Moto. Okay. And I need to buy 1 Thought-Knots here. I'm not massively great. Wow, thanks, Six Sigma. So let's see, what are we dealing with here? I think I'm just going to replace the cavern and a chalice with some spell pierces. And then I need to buy 1 Thought-Knot. Which I'm okay doing. Yeah, okay. So 1 second, you gotta stare at my ugly mug for a moment while I get the stuff I need. You know what's awful about playing Moto a lot? I memorized my credit card information. which is terrible. Look away, save yourself. The bad man is back. Oh man, have I told you guys how much I love my chat? You guys are great. All right, then we just go to ye old bots, and we buy a Thought Knots here. It's the only thing I've memorized anymore. Oh man. All right. Oops. Modern. Monoblue. Tron. Oh, this is the list I started working on the other day. Where's the one I just had? I think I labeled it Meta Blue Tron. Here we are. Okay, what's still missing? Well, there's only 59 cards in the main deck. What the heck did I move out? I think it's an island. I don't know why, but the Moto deck loader is like not working, or it's making it too easy to click on stuff to get rid of it. There really no Castle Mantras in this? Huh, alright. We'll throw in one snow-covered island. Just to really throw people for a loop. Okay. Let me throw this on the old Stream Decker. And we will play ourselves some Monoblue Tron. Alright, actually, I need to take a quick bio break. I'm going to try playing this in a league when I get back, if you guys are cool with that. Until then, it'll just be a couple minutes. Yep. Wrong one. Now we're back. Oh, leave the deck up? Sorry. I left in such a hurry. Didn't wait for anyone to respond. You can always do exclamation point deck if you want to link to the deck list. I did set it as the current deck on Stream Decker. So if you use that extension, you can see the deck list at any time. I know nothing about this deck. Let's take it into a competitive league. 100 play points. Let's do it. I'm the Monoblue Tron expert. I've played Monoblue Tron one time, and that was when I accidentally discovered I had all of the pieces in paper after buying a collection one time. Plays Blue Tron every birthday. If I had the words Tron expert used in the same sentence about me, I would feel dirty and need a shower. Oh man. I am absolutely not an expert of anything except maybe punting, and it's an unconscious expertise. Mono Blue Tron. I may have played it in the past for a couple of leagues, but it was never a big deck. It's just one that I think I happen to have. Alright, I mean, like, land. We'll keep. We have 2 pieces of Tron, why wouldn't we? We are on the draw, though, so this will not be a particularly powerful hand, I feel. Yes, actually, I used to do that a lot when, Expedition map and drawing cards, Oz. Oh gosh, alright. Tron matchup. Here we go. Start power plant, pass the turn. Luck, skill. Okay. Opponent plays a power plant. We draw the Karn Father. Play Obero. Pass the turn. Spreading seas in the board? Absolutely. So Monoblue Tron does kind of luck a little bit, but it doesn't have to assemble Tron to win. It's just its strongest hands have Tron. It's Monoblue Tron for the longest time was actually a tempo deck. And a lot of people didn't understand that. Alright, opponent assembled Tron. Opponent assembled Tron into nothing? So we can either leave up Remand or field our opponent now. I think field is stronger. So we'll field them on their draw step. Hit the tower. Leave up Remand. Yeah, I probably should have done that. Opponent is also Monoblue Tron. What a twist. I'm gonna puke. Alright. Play a Tron land. We'll leave up double Remand / Thirst for Knowledge. Alright, opponent thirsts for the knowledge. I mean, what are the odds, right? Do I have any experience playing Death Shadow? None at all. None whatsoever. I played a janky zombie fish deck way back. Think I would have remanded it. That's fair. I probably should have, considering I have double remand open. But my brain shuts off for draw spells. I'm like, oh, I gotta counter threats. Alright. Pass the turn. There's Tron. Ah. Karn. Well, remand. Kano only plays bad decks in Tron, does not believe in good decks that are fun. Is my opponent condescending me? I think they're condescending me. No, I appreciate. I don't. I understand. I know that you guys rib me a lot. I'm not offended at all. We're gonna remand condescend. All right, we draw Talisman of Dominance. Come on, final Tron piece. There it is, final Tron piece. Oh, it's so dirty. Oh, it's nasty. Could you imagine doing this to another human being? Because it's horrible. Play Thought Not Seer. Now I need to shower. Fair. Take Karn. Opponent has Condescend, Remand, Ballista. So we play Talisman of Dominance. Karn. Community Shower. And we're going to go ahead and wish for Liquid Metal Coating. Alright, pass the turn. So my opponent can cast a big Ballista. But they can't take any counters off of it, which is hilarious. And we can play through any number of remands and condescends, and they can only cast one. So, opponent is not in a good position right now. Short of top decking and playing a Karn immediately to shut off our Liquid Metal Coating, I think there's not a lot they can do. We draw a Power Plant. Okay. So I think we attack first. Go to combat. Attack for 4. Think you're going to try and brew that Dice Factory deck later tonight? Go for it. That sounds awesome. Yeah, we're going to do this in case they try and condescend for all of their mana and make me pay 8. They let it resolve. We could take them off of blue or we could take them off of Tron, and Tron seems way more important. Worst case scenario, my opponent has a repeal here. Okay. Goodbye, Urza's Tower. Strange stuff. Card instead of Karn. Well, Karn is a card. If you get in some games with Kieran combo, make sure you have a couple beers first. Keep your draws well lubricated. Bone, what's up? Opponent concedes. So now we're in an interesting place, and I don't think we bring in Spreading Seas here. Opponent is playing Tron, but at the same time, you're here for the well lubrication. The real fun police has shown up. Okay, so I think what we do is we cut 2 Relic of Progenitus for 2 Spell Pierce. I'm not bringing in Spreading Seas. I know this is a Tron matchup, but like Tron is not critical to assembling the Tron is not critical to winning in this matchup, and giving my opponent more blue mana could actually be very harmful. Glad you made it, Bone. You missed a Supreme draft where we drafted only mono red aggro cards out of all of the Ravnica sets and simply beat our opponents to death when they were playing all tap lands, all of them. I don't know why, but everyone was playing bounce lands with guild gates and not playing anything till turn 4 after we'd already cast 4 spells. The opponent starts Tron piece. We start Tron piece. Where's my annexes for the Tron matchup instead of Spreading Seas? Good question. Play an island. Pass the turn. We'll leave up Remand. Tower. Mine Tower Power. Opponent plays a Thought Knot Seer, to which we will respond with no. We draw mine. And Condescend. So, Field of Ruin. Take out Tower. Opponent's going to float 3 colorless. Oh no, they're going to gifts me. Alright, move to second main. Opponent thirsts for the knowledge. Man, Eminent Domain of like Annex and what's it called? Annex, Frost Titan, Dream Leash, Boomerang Lands. Oh my god. Alright, opponent Thought Knots again. They take Karn, the Great Creator. Alright, we untap. We draw a Remand. Play Mine. Play Talisman. Pass the turn. So we have Remand or Condescend, if either of those help our situation. Opponent attacks for 4. We take 4 and go to 16. They play an island. They now have 2 counter spells online. So let's Expedition map. Get ourselves a power plant. Untap. We draw Cyclonic Rift. Play power plant. Transmute. We'll go get Tower. How did we find the other Soul Tron player in all of Moto? Good question. We thought for sure it was Mono Green Tron when they queued up and played Tron. Okay. Opponent untaps. Alright, they're going to combat. They attack for 4. Sure. Take 4. Go to 12. What have you got, opponent? Another Thought Knot, maybe? A Walking Ballista? X2. We could remand that. I actually think we do. Remand Walking Ballista. If they want to tap out to cast that again, that's fine. If they want to remand our remand, that's also fine. I don't. Alright, they let us have a Relic of Progenitus. We untap. We draw mine. Play Tower. Give them the old Thought Knot Seer. Take a peek at what they're doing. They let it resolve. Interesting. 3 remands, a Dismember, a Walking Ballista, and a Condescend. What on earth is that? Okay. So Dismember is the most immediate threat. Just take Ballista? Yeah, I guess. That's fair. We only need 2 blue mana. So we can kind of safely play Relic here. If my opponent remands this, I guess that's fine. Alright. For that, you must exile a card from your grave. So we currently have 7 mana untapped. Opponent is going to dismember 1 counter spell backup. 4 mana untapped. So we can cast a Condescend. But if we do... I'm not sure we can follow that up very well. I think we have to let our opponent kill our Thought Knot Seer. Because we can't Condescend for enough mana twice, I don't think. Because we can Condescend for 5, and then have nothing. So, yeah, this just has to die. Okay, opponent gets to draw a card. They play an Urza's Mine, which means they're still holding 3 remands and a Condescend. Okay, we take 4. Cyclonic Rift. They let us draw. Feeling pretty safe behind that wall of remands, are they? Another Condescend. In that case, we can play a Mine. We can play Ballista on 2. And then if that doesn't work, leave up 2 great big Condescends. I probably should have actually just played that for 1, now that I'm thinking about it. Okay, so opponent remands. Yeah, I should have cast it on 1, because then I could replay it on 1. If we don't have mana, we can just grow it on board. But we need to try and resolve it this turn. I hope they cast a big Condescend, and then we can, like, get it for 1. Like, Condescend for 1. Well, they are going to do something about it. And it's going to remand it again. Okay. Ballista on 1. Problem is now our Condescends aren't very good, but we can throw both away on the Thought-Knot Seer if we want, just to get some scries to see if we can hit some better action. If we untap, this Ballista is going to get huge. Alright, opponent plays a Field of Ruin. They use all of their blue mana. Could have cast Ballista for 4 there. We could have, but I wanted to have a chance to Condescend my opponent's plays. Also, just casting Condescend for 0 just as a, what is that? 1 blue mana scry 2 is probably fine. Also, welcome, Raelin. Good to have you. Kind of expecting my opponent to just pay this. Am I the only one that hates all mirror matchups? I don't hate it, I just tend not to be good at any mirror matchup I play. Opponent's going to Condescend our Condescend X3. Okay. We will not pay 3 for Condescend. So opponent gets to scry. Their Karn gets to resolve, but if they just wish for and play Liquid Metal Coating, we Condescend Liquid Metal Coating. The big problem, though, is we can't activate Ballista to put counters on it with Karn on board. They leave both on top. That's scary. Alright, Karn resolves. So we know our opponent is holding a Remand and a Thought-Knot Seer. It comes down to luck and how well you know your deck and your opponent's deck. Okay, opponent is wishing. Walking Ballista. Now do they play it? Alright, they don't play it. They could now that Karn is resolved. We get a map. So I should have tapped an island for that. Never mind. Never mind. Doesn't matter. Go to combat. Attack Karn. Well, we'll be on the play for game 3 of round 1. Okay, opponent plays an Eldrazi Temple. Yeah, no problem. We're going to condescend our opponent. We're probably dead. Oh no, but like, if we scry some stuff to the top. Oh no, I actually just uploaded them. I didn't edit them at all. I literally just took the raw video file and put it to YouTube. I do have another VOD, plus this one, of course. Opponent lets us counter Thought-Knot. We scry 2 cards to the bottom. Seven mana, 10 mana. They're going to play a great big Walking Ballista. Okay, they kill our Walking Ballista. We untap. They take up Karn. We untap. And we lose. Alright, game 3. The good news is we'll be on the play. And I don't think we need to adjust the main deck at all. I think we're fine. Alright, we'll play first. I can work with this. We'll keep. Spreading Seas, I think, is bad in this matchup. Giving my opponent more blue mana is not great. Start Expedition map. Pass the turn. They play Talaria West. We untap. We draw an island. So, play an island. Play Talisman. Pass turn, leaving up Spell Pierce. Opponent untaps. Taking them off Tron seems better than not doing that. It might be, but I think most of the time, blue Tron doesn't need Tron to win. Do we play Academy Ruins? I think I play Academy Ruins. Okay, pass the turn. Like, next turn we can play Karn with Spell Pierce backup, which seems pretty great. Okay. Crack map. We'll get mine. Are the tails ending me? You gonna counter this map activation? Okay, didn't think so. Oh, top deck power plant. Never, didn't always have it, I think. So we'll go ahead and play Karn, because that takes them off of a lot. They basically have to have a remand or something here, and we have Spell Pierce for this. Which, in the general sense, this is probably really bad versus their deck, but I had a sneaking suspicion that we were going to need it for a counterspell fight. It's just better than Relic, I think, in the main deck. We get a Liquid Metal Coating. Pass the turn. Opponent main phase Thirst for Knowledge. Okay. And they discard something. Two remands. Alright, we untap. We draw an island. Play a power plant. Play Liquid Metal Coating. And in comes the repeated Vindicate. We're going to take them off of blue mana first. Opponent concedes. Hey, we did it! Round one! Take that, Tron! Alright, time for round two. Now we run into Green Tron and get smashed? Maybe. Maybe not. We'll see. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm keeping this. So, Gemstone Caverns. We're going to exile Talaria West. So we get to start on 2 mana. That seems great. We draw a power plant. Pass the turn. We're going to leave up Condescend / Dismember. Opponent plays a forest. Scavenging Ooze. We're going to tell him no. We really want to get the Scry here. Power Plant Expedition Map. Map to the bottom, Power Plant to the top. Okay. Play Power Plant, play Map. Pass the turn. Paying red mana for something. Alright, Utopia Sprawl. Sure. That's it? That's what you got? Okay. Let's get... I think Tower. Untap. We draw a Remand. So play Tower. Karn Coding is tempting, but we're just going to run out Thought-Knot Seer here. Opponent is choked on mana, so they're going to have a lot of things, and if we can take them off of their best line, we're probably in the clear. Opponent stomps our face. They have Clothis, Bloodbraid, Pillage, and Questing Beast. Pillage, I think, hurts the most. So we're going to take Pillage. Pass the turn. Okay, opponent top decks a Stomping Ground, which is by far and wide their best possible top deck. So they either play Questing Beast or Bloodbraid, and they play Questing Beast. They attack us for 4, so we trade. Okay, Urza's mine, please. Almost. So play... play Map. I think we leave up Remand Dismember this turn, actually. Oh, actually, we can crack for mine, play it, and leave up Remand Dismember. What was I thinking? Okay, pass the turn. Okay, opponent plays a Bloodbraid and Cascades into a Lightning Bolt. So we're going to let Lightning Bolt resolve. And I think we just remand Bloodbraid. Another Thought-Knot Seer. Perfect. Untap. We draw an extra Karn, which is quite fantastic. So play Karn. We will wish for Liquid Metal Coating. Play Thought-Knot. Check if the coast is clear. Take Utopia Sprawl. Play Liquid Metal Coating. Pass the turn. Stop on my opponent's upkeep. Double the value. Take our opponent off of 2 mana. Oh, this is nasty. Nasty, nasty, nasty. Okay. We untap, we draw Condescend, which is perfect, because by turning it into an artifact on their upkeep, they can't activate their land, because Karn says activated abilities of artifacts can't be activated, and mana abilities are included in that. So the very first thing we're going to do is vindicate this soul land. Opponent is going to float mana in response. Animate the land and destroy it. Go to combat. They're going to stomp Karn? Sure. Why not on our turn? Because we activated Karn to wish for it. So we couldn't activate Karn to just destroy it. So we had to activate it on their upkeep. And then we start vindicating lands every turn on our turn. We could play another Karn and wish for Trinisphere. I think I'm cool with that. Play new Karn. We'll wish for Trinisphere. Play Trinisphere. Pass the turn. Opponent has to top deck a land to play anything. And we have a Condescend. That we can cast still. So this game is over. Nice. So. We're going to bring in Spell Pierce over Relic. And I think we're going to drop the last Relic for Spreading Seas. Spreading Seas seems kind of important in this matchup. It's not amazing, but it's not terrible either. Yeah, I think we just run it back like this. Okay, we don't have any blue mana, so this hand is kind of risky. I'm going to mulligan. I know double Tron piece is super tempting to keep. But we're on the draw, and we get Gemstone Caverns again, so we're going to keep this. We're going to put back Talaria West, I think. And we are going to pitch Expedition Map. Okay, opponent starts Forest. Worth noting, we only run one of these, by the way. And it only works if we're on the draw. Okay. Play a snow-covered island, pass the turn. All of that seemed wrong. Okay. Opponent Utopia Sprawl again. Also on green. Wrong as it was incorrect, or wrong as in I'm morally opposed to that? Or wrong as in both? We're going to play an Obero. Pass the turn. Okay, opponent casts a Bloodbraid Elf. Cascades into an Arbor Elf. I think letting Arbor Elf resolve here is fine, but countering Bloodbraid is where we want to be. Okay, Island to the bottom, Thought Knot to the top. Untap. Draw Thought Knot. Play Academy Ruins. Play Thought Knot. Okay, so opponent has Lightning Bolt, Cindervines, Clothis, and Seasoned Pyromancer. We gotta get rid of Clothis. It's the only thing we can't really answer right now. They're not holding an Arbor Elf, they just revealed it for Bloodbraid. Yes, Clock of Omens. Gotta make that card work. This opponent has a ton of mana. They tap all of it and probably play Seasoned Pyromancer and see if they can draw anything better. Glorybringer. That is an enormous problem. So they attack and exert, they kill Thought Knot, they get to draw a card, and we take 4. We untap and draw Thirst for Knowledge. Okay. Well, pass the turn. That was an amazing top deck. They play a land. They play Chandra. There's nothing we can do about that. We can't counter it. So we're going to let that resolve. We need to draw and have a way to play Cyclonic Rift. Okay, so opponent ticks up. Gets a Clothis. They're going to cast Clothis. We are going to counter. X3. We'll take 1. Island to the bottom, Cyclonic Rift to the top. Untap. Draw Cyclonic Rift. Cast Thirst for Knowledge. Take a damage. Draw 3 cards. Discard 2 unless we discard an artifact. So we discard Thirst. And I guess mine. Play Tower. Pass the turn. Really hope we don't have to Cyclonic Rift just to stay alive. I'm looking forward to it, Six Sigma. Alright, yeah, that's going to be game. We're going to go on to game 3. Porter, what are you doing? No, you don't need to be back there. Go lay down. They didn't cast it? Okay, we take 4, go to 8. They stomp our face. Yeah, okay. I don't need to see this. Game 3. All right. I kind of want Spreading Seas in the deck, but I don't think it's going to do enough. So we're just going to run it back. I think Spell Pierce is better in the general sense. Maybe Spreading Seas is better on the play than Spell Pierce is, but I already hit submit, so... We'll play first. Tron piece into Walking Ballista to kill an Arbor Elf. Alright, we're going to try keeping this. This is very risky. If we draw a Urza's Mine, this hand goes from, like, kind of risky to absolutely crazy bonkers. So, 4 in 53 chance. That's a 1 in, what, 13? About. Okay. Start Urza's Tower. Pass the turn. We could also draw an Eldrazi Temple. That would be good. Opponent starts Wooded Foothills. We're going to play Obero because that enables us to keep up a Condescend now. Okay. Opponent cracks Wooded Foothills for a Tron player that's 90% chance. Sometimes it feels like it. Okay, opponent plays a Windswept Heath. Cracks it. They get a regular old forest. Utopia Sprawl. Naming red. Pass the turn. We untap. We draw another Karn Great Creator. Play a Power Plant. Pass the turn. Okay. Opponent untaps. We have 3 looks to hit a Tron land here. Opponent shocks Stomping Ground. 3, 4 mana, they Bloodbraid. See what they cascade into. It is a Cinder Vines. Let's see. Which of these things am I more worried about? Cinder Vines can destroy artifacts, so we can't just wish for Liquid Metal Coating to win the game. But Bloodbraid is an aggressive source of damage that threatens Karn immediately. I think we have to counter Bloodbraid. And we're going to do it with Cinder Vines on the stack so that we don't take any extra damage. Okay, Cyclonic Rift is really not a bad draw, but I don't really want to draw either of these, so I'm going to shunt both to the bottom. Okay. Cinder Vines resolves. We untap. Urza's Mine. Dang. I really thought that would work. Play Academy Ruins, and we're going to Thought-Knot Seer. It's our most interactive play this turn. Okay, so our opponent has Blood Moon, Chandra, Torch of Defiance, Questing Beast, and Seasoned Pyromancer. Because we've played the only card in our hand that requires colorless mana, Blood Moon at this point only shuts off Spell Pierce, and I kind of hope they play Blood Moon. Chandra can kill Thought-Knot Seer, so can Questing Beast. And Seasoned Pyromancer helps refill their hand. I think we take Questing Beast. If my opponent plays Chandra and downticks to kill Thought-Knot Seer, we can play Ballista on 2 and ping it. Questing Beast is the next hardest thing for us to answer. I don't think Cinder Vines will. But we'll see how this game plays out and see if I'm wrong. We just block it? Yes, but we have no answer. Okay, we have no answer for an onboard Questing Beast. We have no answer for an onboard Questing Beast. At all. Like, I don't know what you expect me to do. We can ping Chandra, Torch of Defiance, and have a 1/1 Walking Ballista on board after the fact. So, opponent plays Blood Moon, as anticipated. Okay. We can't play Thought-Knot because we can no longer tap for colorless mana. We can, however, play Karn or Ballista. So go to combat, we attack our opponent for 4. Do we play Karn or do we play Ballista? So if we play Ballista, they just nuke it now. If we play Karn, we can wish for something threatening. Take one. Play Karn. Wish. Okay, what have we got here? Bridge doesn't help. Trinisphere doesn't help. Relic is just a redraw. Sundering Titan and Wormcoil are a little expensive. Liquid Metal will instantly get destroyed by a Cindervines, but not before it has a chance to activate, actually. I think we go Liquid Metal Coating here. So my opponent cannot kill Karn. You the only one totally confused here? Don't worry, everybody will be when I win. Ah, Bloodbraid Elf. Karn's natural enemy. Moon or Chandra had to be right. We'll see. Okay, remand. So this turn we play Walking Ballista. Ping the elf. Go to combat. Hit our opponent for 4. They go to 8. Pass the turn. We kind of are hoping to draw a basic island. That would be really good. Okay. Down comes Torch of Defiance. Opponent can kill Thought-Knot Seer, but they will lose their Chandra in the process. They draw. They play Wooded Foothills. They go to combat. No attacks. Kill Chandra. Untap. Another Walking Ballista. See, everything is fine. Everything was totally fine, everybody. Alright, pass the turn. Kind of wish I was drawing some islands, though. That'd be pretty sweet. What would be really awesome is if my opponent had to sack Cindervines to deal with Walking Ballista. Oh, you know what? I was thinking for some reason that Questing Beast killed Thought-Knot Seer when it entered the battlefield. I don't know why I was thinking that. So no wonder everybody was confused. Okay, opponent pillages a Tron land. We get a Field of Ruin. Play Field. Play Karn. So opponent only has Seasoned Pyromancer in hand. If we downtick, we could potentially lose a Karn to a Bolt. Because it was a terrible line. It wasn't terrible. It just wasn't super amazing. We tick up Karn here. Pass the turn. There's so many words on it, guys. There's so many words. Look at all those words. I can't read that. Oh, man. 2-for-1 ourselves and letting him Blood Moon us off colorless in our colors seems pretty terrible. Yeah, whatever. Okay, opponent pitches a Klothys to get an elemental. They play a forest, and their final card is Bloodbraid, which is oh my god. All right, I may have punted this one away. We'll see. Actually, yes, because holy crap, how on earth did they get enough devotion? That is garbage. At this point, I'm going to wish for bridge. With all these cards I can't discard. This is not a good plan, it's just what I got. When it gets in for a lot of damage. Well, if we get an island, everything's fine. Trust me. We go to 3 and die to Bolt. We had 3 life left and our opponent had untapped red mana. What did you expect was going to happen? Alright. Well, there was a possibility we won that match had I not been utterly convinced. So, alright. Round 3, everybody. Round 3. We'll play first. Very tempting, but I'm gonna mulligan. We got better hands in this deck. Like this one as an example. We'll keep this. I'm gonna put back... I want to say Ballista. Still lost because they top decked like champs. That's possible. Start power plant map. Pass the turn. It appears we are also against the Tron. Another map. Play mine. I don't think there's any reason not to just immediately go get tower, so I'm going to do that so I don't overthink this. Pass the turn. The problem now is my opponent is probably on green Tron and doing better things than we are. Oh, never mind. Play Karn. Game over. Opponent cracks map. Yeah, that's fine. We will wish for Liquid Metal Coating. Tap for 3. Play Talisman for 2. Play Liquid Metal Coating. Stop on my opponent's upkeep. Turn off tower. And opponent concedes, without us knowing what kind of Tron they're on. It's probably not blue Tron, right? It's not the same person we played in round 1, so it's probably not blue Tron. So Spreading Seas in, Relic out. And I think Dismember out as well. In fact, we might go down Dismember entirely in favor of a Spell Pierce. If my opponent's Eldrazi Tron, which is still possible, we will need those dismembers, but if they're on green Tron, which is more likely, we will not need those dismembers, because those do not kill worm coils. Okay, this hand is hot garbage. This hand is reasonably better. So I'm going to keep, and I'm going to put back... If there's a third blue Tron player on Moto, you'll buy... Don't say those words if you're going to regret them. I'm going to put back either a Thought-Knot Seer or a Cyclonic Rift. Probably Rift. Watch this start Island. Oh, okay. Tron, or Urza's Tower map. Seems good. We start Power Plant. Blast Zone. Morrow, I've come to bargain. Oh gosh, it's Dice Factory Tron. We were all wrong. It's a worse deck. Play an island. Pass the turn. So we play Karn and they lose. I think that's what happened. You just dumpstered Dredge game 1? That's awesome. Opponent plays a Maze Mind Tome. That's remandable. In a sample size of 1, that's not bad. Fair. We untap. We draw Obero. So... I'm gonna play Power Plant. Pass the turn. What did you just untap Relic repeatedly? Because if you did, that's awesome. Opponent cracks map. Sure. I really think we just play Karn and they lose. Because they have to take a Blast Zone up to 4 to deal with Karn. Stormed off of untapping Cornucopia. That's pretty sweet. Okay, we draw Tower. Play Tower. Play Karn. Opponent charges up Astral Cornucopia. Draws a card off of Maze Mind Tome. Kill Astral Cornucopia. Pass the turn. 22 power Ballista sealed the deal? Holy hell. Opponent plays their own Karn. And if it's a Karn fight you want, it's a Karn fight you'll get. Okay, opponent is wishing for an artifact. Please grab Liquid Metal Coating and then realize you can't play it. Or you can't activate it. Oh yeah. Awesome, thank you. I plugged the boom mic into a different what's it called? USB port. And things just worked out to be way better. Alright, Walking Ballista. So they're going to animate that Paradox engine. We don't have any copies of Spine of Ishsa? Good question. Not sure. So we're playing Obero. We could wish for Ensnaring Bridge. We either play Thought-Knot Seer or Ensnaring Bridge. Our opponent has Tron, though. We would also just put Ballista on 1. Or 2. Actually like that. Wish for our biggest artifact. Problem is we're 1 mana off of... we're 1 mana off of playing a Wormcoil Engine. And we can't just get Liquid Metal Coating to take out our opponent's lands, because we can't activate it. Lux Cannon. I'm sorry. I think we play Ballista on 2. Well, our opponent's going to animate Paradox Engine and attack Karn. I think we put Ballista on 2 and wish for Worm. I think you're right. No, actually we thought not Seer instead of walking Ballista, because we can't activate Ballista. Put on this Chalice of the Void and Everflowing Chalice. I mean, neither of those are super threatening, but I guess we take Chalice of the Void. Opponent animates Paradox Engine into a 5/5. Attack Karn. Well, we got a block. Opponent draws a card. Chalice on 6 is pretty bad. True. Okay, opponent passes. We draw a Thirst for Knowledge. So we definitely thirst. We discard an artifact. Oh, I should have wished first, you're right. Do I discard Engine here? And then play... No, because I can't do map. I need to discard map. I don't know why I keep thinking I can play map. I'm not going to wish, because if I wish, Core Tapper can attack Karn and kill him. We are going to play Walking Ballista to chump. Good call, Bone Daddy. I am not playing an optimum efficiency right now. That much is certain. We played... Oh. Raelin, good call. If I wish, Karn dies. I'm not wishing right now. I want them to keep attacking Karn. So we know they're holding an Everflowing Chalice. Wish.com. Okay, opponent animates Paradox Engine. Goes to combat. Attacks Karn. Attacks Karn. Chump. Opponent plays a Maze Mind Tome to untap all of their permanents. We untap. We draw another power plant. Play Power Plant. Play Worm Coil. Uptick Karn. Is my opponent putting 3 counters on a Blast Zone? Okay, that's a problem. Because they can nuke Karns that... Well, they nuke both Karns if they do that, so... Probably should have discarded Ballista. You think so? Kept the map and animated... Oh, that would have been better, because then we could have kept up a Remand or a Condescend. Opponent plays a Mystic Forge. Why would you put a Blast Zone on 4 and then play a Mystic Forge? They're cranking it up to 6? Well, they're playing an Ensnaring Bridge. Do I Condescend X0 just to scry? Bone says yes, Raylin says nah, Kano brain grinds up. Alright. Alright, we're not gonna do it. It's a good question. I'm not totally sure what we're digging for at the moment. Okay, opponent has no longer the ability to activate Blast Zone this turn. But they're also... Like, we need a way to deal with Ensnaring Bridge. It's too bad I don't have any Dismembers. Or I can't attack with a Walking Ballista. Oh, we need Cyclonic Rift. We have Cyclonic Rift in this deck, right? Or Spinovish Saw. Play Island. Yeah, we'll Thought-Knot Seer, take the last card out of their hand. Everflowing Chalice. Tick up Karn. Pass the turn. We just need Cyclonic Rift, and the game's over. Yeah, it's bounce everything that we don't own or control. It's bounce every non-land permanent of theirs, is what I'm trying to say. Opponent plays an Expedition map. We're getting close to... Actually, we can just overload it now. We don't need Tron to do that. I'm going to remand this because I want to draw. There it is. Okay, now I'm going to Condescend because I'm looking for Cyclonic Rift. And we have a plan. Walking Ballista to the bottom, Thirst for Knowledge to the top. Okay, opponent animates nothing and plays a land. Passes turn, we untap. We draw Thirst. Play Mine. We're going to wish for an artifact that we can discard in case. So I'm actually going to wish for a Walking Ballista. We win on decking them? Yeah, I don't think that's happening. We're gonna discard Ballista. Spreading Seas, Urza's Tower. Cannon might be weird, but Clock is good. You don't see how Rift wins? I don't think my opponent has an answer for Karn Great Creator. They play another Core Tapper. I'm just going to remand to draw a card. There it is. Okay. They replay Core Tapper. Opponent is wishing for an artifact from outside the game. Oh, you don't want me to cast it until I have lethal? Opponent gets a Witchbane Orb. That won't save you now. So if I wish for Liquid Metal Coating, I can unsummon their entire board, blow up a Tron. Well, I guess they could still. So let's go ahead and wish. We're gonna get Relic. Play Tower. Play Relic. So now we can exile Ballista and wish for it again. Could have gotten 3-ball. Oh, that would have actually been kind of sweet. Then they definitely can't replay all of it. I could do that next turn in addition to, like, unsummoning everything on their end step. Just unsummon everything, play 3-ball. Oh no, a very scary Witchbane Orb. Undoing our previous punt. Okay, opponent upticks Karn. It's each non-land permanent you don't control. So it doesn't unsummon our Spreading Seas. The Overload does not target, no. Give him the old Troll NATO. Opponent has to discard so many cards they just instantly concede. And that's the match. We're 2-1. We should have played Ponza. Why? I also do definitely not have the cards for Ponza. Unless you mean Jank Ponza, in which case. Aren't we only... We played against Monoblue Tron, Ponza, and Dice Factory Tron. They could not drop the bridge and clear their hand with cheap artifacts. They had 7 cards in their hand at their end step. Then we were going to play 3-ball on our turn, and they were only going to play 2 cards. I don't know. We won. That's all I care about at the moment. I probably punted that game a million ways to Sunday and snatched victory from uh, in front of my own foot. Just yeah. Okay, our opponent mulligans to 6. This hand looks awesome. That's true. And they could have discarded everything but the, like, 1-mana artifacts, but at the same time, they didn't have Tron, yeah. They could have discarded them, replayed Ensnaring Bridge, and then just, like, had a bunch of Surge nodes. And we would not have been able to attack the second turnaround, but we do have a second Cyclonic Rift in the deck. So, like, we were swinging for 10, and then we would have waited until we could swing for 10 again. We also, if they're not replaying Karn, we could have gotten Liquimetal Coating and started blowing up their lands. So, like, they wouldn't be able to play anything else, and their hand would eventually fill up, I guess. But opponent kept a hand of 6 and cycled a Street Wraith before playing a land. They are now waiting to play a land. What is happening? Yeah. No, it was going to be a very, very long and hard-fought battle, and I don't know if it was worth it. Good old no-land Death Shadow Keeps, TM. Did my opponent seriously keep a hand with no land and cycle a Street Wraith, hoping to hit a land? Like... Is that what's happening right now? They could be on something like Belcher. That's true, they could be on Belcher. I doubt they would be in the 2-1 bracket with Belcher, though. I don't think that deck is that good. Like, you can definitely jank people out, and I guess you could jank 2 people out in a row. Dredge doesn't play Street Wraiths in Modern, right? That was only a Legacy thing to protect from, like, surgicals and stuff like that. They randomly match up 0/0s against 2-1s because this is Moto. Well, that sucks. I never get that kind of luck. I don't match up against the guy that queues up with Monoblue Beebles. That's awesome, Six Sigma. I'm actually thrilled to hear that. Double Simian Spirit Guide. This might actually be Belcher. Holy crap. Or Neobrand. It's Neobrand. My opponent had exactly the 7 cards they needed to get Grizzlebrand. And it's a Grizzlebrand that sticks around. Why? Why me? How did they find the... They kept a hand with mostly everything and then sat there for 5 minutes thinking about how they needed to cycle, like what they needed to cycle into, cycle the Street Wraith, got exactly the 7 cards or the 6 cards they needed to win on turn 1. What? Props to our opponent, but like, I better Trinisphere them both games from now on. What? Or my opponent has to like fizzle or something, which I highly doubt is possible at this point. They did Summoner's Pact, so if they don't kill us, they lose. We don't have Force. We have Spell Pierce. Allosaurus Rider number 2. But you still have a... You cast Summoner's Pact. You have to kill me this turn. How are you killing me this turn? Edge of Autumn. Edge of freaking Autumn. I already have 4 forces, Great Bone. And you did. You bought me one. It was in that giant pile of cards you gave me the other day. They had another shoal? Oh, are they just digging through their hand? They already have the kill? Yes, you did. I had 3 and you bought me the 4th. Great Bone Daddy. Such a wealthy and loving benefactor. Doesn't even remember all the gifts he's given me. I am not worthy. Opponent just passed the second main. If they untap, they lose. They Summoner's Pact it, right? I never ask myself that question because the list would get too long. They play a Wild Canter? They have to now discard 22 cards. So how does my opponent get out of this? They have to, like, Ritual Manamorphose to pay for Summoner's Pact? And we don't have a 1-mana counterspell. They used 2. He's gonna Angel's Grace? That deck doesn't run Angel's Grace. No way. Does this deck run Angel's Grace? Alright. I've been graced with the gift of priority. Island. Go. Wait. Wait. They cast Summoner's Pact, though, didn't they? They didn't! They didn't! They exiled it to Allosaurus Rider. Ugh. Well, we get hit for 11 and go to 9. Give me... I need Cyclonic Rift to stay alive. Nope. Play an island. Pass the turn. We technically died on turn 3, but we technically died on turn 1. Wow. Much interact. Maybe they'll draw 7. Spell Pierce is in. That's, I guess, Chalice as well. Dismember does nothing. And... do I cut, like, Relic? They don't need the Grave. Okay. Like, one Spell Pierce and they lose. Like, I can't believe they were capable of winning on turn one like that. Much less that... well, if it was going to happen to anybody, it would have happened to me. I'm sorry that the salt must flow, but... somewhere, Saffron Olive screams into the void about how bad the London Mulligan is. Well, the worst part about that is they had to cycle to get there. They used all 6 cards in their hand. They mulliganed to 6, and they had to cycle, and they got the perfect card to combo off to win the game. The likelihood of that is astronomical. Yes, I would love to play first. I don't think I can keep this hand. Oh, that's right. They got the perfect 2 cards. Yes. Because they drew with Manamorphose, yeah. This is turn 3 Thought-Knot Seer, and I'm going to die on turn 1 because I don't have blue mana. Let's try and get a land and Spell Pierce. Great! Opponent mulligan to 6, but they're on the draw. Is there any chance I keep a hand without Spell Pierce? Do I have to mulligan to Spell Pierce? Because this hand I could die the exact same way, with no recourse. We're going to go to 5 and see if we can hit Spell Pierce. Okay, I'm going to go to 4. You know what? I'm going to keep it. Man, keeping Tron lands in Karn isn't even right. Our opponent mulliganed to 6. So we put back Thought-Knot. Put back Karn and Tower. My luck is they'll have that combo plus Pact this game. It's just gonna be like Pact Negation. Oh yeah, you're dead. Okay, opponent plays Wild Cantor. We play Urza's Mine. Pass the turn. It's not really that crazy for the deck to win on turn 1, though. No. It is, but it isn't. It's unlikely they go first, mulligan, and cycle and Manamorphose into the victory. I should have kept the Tron lands plus Karn at this rate. Yes, exactly. Bone Daddy was thinking the exact same thing that I was when I thought it. They cast a Summoner's Pact, okay? You got it. They get Allosaurus Rider. They're going for it. Remand Allosaurus Rider. Pact of freaking negation. I knew it. We're just dead. I'm done. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Are you kidding me? Second Summoner's Pact, so we're just gonna die this turn, I guess. I am so salty right now. The Great Salt Flat in the glorious state of salt of Utah where I live has nothing on the amount of salt that I feel right now. Simply outrageous. And the worst part is, okay, third Summoner's Pact. I was gonna say the worst part is Tron player being salty. That is rich. If I was playing anything, I would be salty right now. Are you kidding me? If I was playing Neoform, if I was playing his deck right now, I would be salty. Because I get hands like that once in a lifetime. Although I did make a meme video on this. You all should check out my 2-minute meme video on Neoform. Spirit Guide, Manamorphose. Just gonna draw the rest of his deck and then play Thassa's Oracle, or what's the deal here? Blue green. He has to win this turn. He's cast like 4 freaking what's it called? Summoner's Pacts. Summoner's Pact fails to find. Nourishing Shoal. Thank you, Six Sigma. For all of you that haven't seen Neoform, you should absolutely look at my Neoform playing. Which is that video in the link in the chat. So we're 2-2 because Neoform is unbeatable, and I suck at playing against Ponza. So round 5, let's try and get our entry back. Back to when I used to make funny videos. I want to get back to doing that. I gotta find the time and the motivation, though. Alright, can't keep this hand on the draw, got a mulligan. It's not great. Our opponent mulligan to 6. You know what? We're gonna keep this. There's lots of stuff we can draw that's good. And our opponent's burn! Oh, no, it's hammer time. Field of Ruin. Play an island, pass the turn. Core Outfitter. No! No! Stop! Okay. Play Walking Ballista. Pass the turn. Don't kill me with Banhammer. Chump. Ping. You know, if we animate it with Karn, which we can't because our opponent has mass protection. Oh no, we can animate the Colossus Hammer, and then they're beating us down with a 1/1. So play Field. Field Sunbaked Canyon. Get an island. Pass the turn. I'm not giving up this fight that easy. Opponent attacks for 12. It's a 2/3 Kano. Core Duelist. Steel Shaper's Gift. A second Colossus Hammer. Thirst for Knowledge. Is there anything I can do? Anything at all? Anything I can draw? Nope. Alright, game 2. Play Karn and plus, yeah. I'm on tilt, okay? Alright. Chalice of the Void, Walking Ballista in, Relics out. Spell Pierce in. And I think Remand out. Remand is pretty bad in this matchup. For some reason, I was thinking if I played Karn and plus after I said that, I was like, oh, I'm just dead to damage anyway. But Core can't protect the equipment. They can only protect the creature it turns into. So we'll play first. And actually, Karn would have survived that hit at 1 life, wouldn't he? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I really messed that up. We'll keep. Start tower. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Giver of Runes. We untap, we draw Karn. Play Field, play Talisman. Pass the turn. Opponent plays an Ink Moth into a Stone Forge. Okay. Well, we can't condescend. They get a Colossus Hammer. So we need to dismember Giver of Runes. Untap. We draw Eldrazi Temple. So we play Karn, they can't equip it unless they Magnetic Theft. But if we play Thought Knot, we can't leave up anything else either. Or what do you guys think? Karn, Thought Knot, or leave up Condescend Rift? If we take Thought Knot, we can take the Hammer. Which might theoretically buy us something. Alright. Bone Daddy says Thought Knot's here. I trust Bone Daddy. 6 Sigma 2. You're both better players than me by far. Alright. Thought Knot's here. Core Outfitter, Relic Warder, Colossus Hammer. Well, away goes the Hammer. Oh, they actually have Luris. Alright, pass the turn. Opponent can play Relic Warder and get rid of our Talisman of Dominance. They shock a Sacred Foundry, play Warder, take Dominance. We untap. We draw Walking Ballista. We can either put Ballista on one. We can either put Ballista on one or field Inkmoth Nexus and get an island. I think fielding is better. Yeah, fielding is better. Do we attack? I don't think we attack. Pass the turn. Okay, opponent untaps. They play a Plains. Animate Inkmoth. We're going to field in response. Oh man, do they have an Apostle's Blessing or something? Oh, they're going to disenchant to make us sack a land. Okay, that happened. You ever had an opponent sinkhole himself and have that be the right play? Pass the turn. We need blue mana pretty badly. Okay, opponent plays a Sunbaked Canyon and cracks it. Giver of Runes, that's extra annoying. Attack for 3, no blocks. Ah, the pain. This is our last turn to attack, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Got a single for my birthday. It's not my birthday, Phone Daddy. It's really not. No blocks. We take 3 and go to 10. Our opponent plays a double white grizzly bear and a Sigarda's Aid and a Sacred Foundry. Pass the turn. Oh, why? It's not my birthday. Oh, you're gonna make me laugh myself into a coughing fit. I don't know what sins I committed for this. But I guess I deserve this. We're gonna just... No. Alright, take 3. Pro colorless, makes sense. The sin of playing Tron too much. Alright, opponent plays a land and puts Luris in their hand. And they play their core outfitter. And we untap. Why? Why me? Why this? Pass the turn. I hate it. Oh, I hate it. One plays Luris. And a Giver of Runes. Now they have 2. Just kill me. Just do it. And thus ends the most painful Modern League I've played in a very long time. Six Sigma, you can have your Thought Knot Seers back, dude. They're yours. Let's take these out of the trade binder and put the old... You're excited for the VOD? Very clippable, I'm sure. Here's your Thought Knot Seers back, dude. Nice Terminate. Would Vinny at the pool? You know what? I would. But I think I am toast for the day. Unless there's a Momir queue ready to fire. Oh no. Alright. I'm done. I'm done streaming for the night. Thank you everybody who tuned in. Thank you if you're watching this as a stream VOD on YouTube. You're all wonderful human beings. We need the bi-weekly streams back. Too many decks, too little time. I agree. If I can find a way to make it work, I will. Yeah, Six Sigma says join our Discord. There's a link to my YouTube. Thanks everybody so much for watching. And I will see you all next time. Bye.